Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Canadian Football Central CFL content for the fans, by the fans. And we get another signing here for the Ottawa Redblacks as, and apologies if I butcher his name here, Habakkuk Baldonado signs in Ottawa. And so, good 6'4", 251 pounds defensive lineman. Came to the CFL through, he's a global player. He's born in Italy. Went to school, though, in Pittsburgh. He went there for a good 5 years before finding his way to the CFL. Now, for starters, Rick, do we know terms?
No.
No. Okay. So this is going to be another defensive piece coming from Saskatchewan, most likely going to Ottawa, as it appears that AJ Allen will probably be on his way there as well. But he had been with the Riders for the past 3 seasons. However, keeping in mind between the 2023 season and and then later in 2023, he got a bit of a chance with the New York Giants. Didn't end up playing any games. Didn't end up playing any games there. I think he was predominantly on practice roster, but he did get at least signed to there for a little bit. But yeah, I'm just trying to take a look here because Baldonado spent training camp with the New York Giants after signing with the team as an undrafted free agent following the 2023 NFL Draft. Was he drafted in the CFL Global Draft?
I would assume so, because he's a global player, and you can only sign global players from...
They have to go through the draft?
Yeah, they had one point or another, they have to go through the draft.
Let's see. I'm just going to ask ChatGPT, see if it knows. You continue for a second. Rick?
Yes. No, I heard you.
Okay. Okay, so I have it here. He was drafted in the 2023 CFL Global Draft. He was selected by Saskatchewan in the second round. He went 12th overall. That was on May 2nd, 2023. So that's when he was selected in the global draft. In his 3 seasons, played 4 games his first year, 14 his next, and then full 18 games this past year. If we look at kind of his most recent season, 17 defensive tackles, 1 special teams tackle, as well as 4 sacks and a forced fumble. So that was kind of a career year for him. It was his best year yet. He's only 26 years old, so still very much on the younger side of things. But if we take a look at his time in Pittsburgh, I would argue that his junior year was probably his best, which is where he played a full 14 games, 42 total tackles that year, as well as 9 sacks, driving QBs back for a total of 46 yards. So really, really good year for them, for the Pittsburgh Panthers, and they're in the ACC, Atlantic Coast Conference. So they had done decent, and his stats were very, very good to back him up. Brings him to the CFL through that. So, what do I think about this move? Firstly, I like it. I like getting generally he's a younger defensive lineman, and so that means that there's a lot more you could do with him. I kind of like it for similar ways that I like the Aiden Eberhardt signing, in the sense of that if you look at the way that he's progressed year after year. It's been kind of a very smooth upswing. And so I think even if he just stays roughly where he's at, that's still very, very good. But obviously, if he gets better, that's certainly ideal. I'm not sure, though. What do you think about this, Rick?
So there's actually 4 Rough Riders going to Ottawa to become the Ottawa Rough Riders. Oh, that was funny. I thought that was funny because the Ottawa team used to be called the Rough Riders. So the Rough Riders go into the old Rough Riders.
Yes. From Rough Riders to Rough Riders.
Yes. Let me take a look here. So this is going to be their second global player on the defensive end that Ottawa has, which is interesting because normally you only have like 2 global players on the whole roster. Ottawa's going to be going into this season with 3. Two
Yeah.
on two on the defensive line and 1 on offensive line.
Yeah. No, and I think that this is a good pickup. I'm curious to see exactly what Dinwiddie is able to do with it with this Ottawa team. There's a lot of guys that they picked up in free agency. There were some key names that they decided to keep around. Ottawa looks to be really gearing up to try to make a push. You know what I mean? This to me seems to be an Ottawa team that is very much looking to really make strides. Like they made that stride to make the playoffs, and they didn't quite get it. And so I have to imagine that they're going to want to they're got to be steadfast on correcting that and getting themselves into the postseason. So,
But you have to remember, just because you're good on paper doesn't necessarily mean you're
nope,
good.
no, this is true, and that's where we'll have to see how the selection of guys that they've been
And
getting kind of meshes together.
not only that, but also at the same time, you're bringing in 11. Actually, no, it's more than 11 players because you got to think Niles Morgan's new on the team.
Yeah, they traded for him right near the end of last year. Yeah.
But my whole point is you're bringing in 12 new players. That's going to take a lot of time to bond as a team.
Yeah. No, that's true. No, that's very true. And that's kind of one of the things that I feel like sometimes doesn't get mentioned enough is about how signing a lot of good players is very, very good because you're getting a lot of talent on your team. But getting those guys to really bond, getting that chemistry where it needs to be, that's something that takes time. So we're going to have to see how well Ottawa does with it. So is there anything else that you got there? I think that's pretty much all I had.
No, sir.
All right, thank you guys so much for tuning into this video. Make sure you guys leave a like, share it around, and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, if you guys haven't, make sure you guys join our Discord. Link in the description below to our Discord where we discuss all things CFL, NHL, all sorts of sports stuff. So make sure you guys go there and keep the conversation going. And we'll see you guys next time.